out of a series of 5. I'm lucky enough to do the last one. This is basically onboarding from the School of Engineering First Year Advisement Hub, and we're getting you ready for registration. This, just like all the other webinars that we've done, all the other 4, are on our website, which I'll reference a lot tonight. So get familiar with the website. That's where you will find all these videos, so you can watch any one of them. With that being said, let's see if I can get to the next screen. Thanks, Karen, for hitting record. There we go. Oh, I hit too many times. Here we are. We are the School of Engineering Advisement Hub. There's 5 of us. So you can see us all right here. My name is Jennifer Yeager. I'm not being super formal on purpose. I just say Jennifer because sometimes I talk fast and people don't know if I'm saying Jen, but you'll know us all on a first name basis. Right now, at this point of the year, we're team advising. If you drop in advising at any time over the next few days leading up to your registration time ticket, you can get, sorry, my Alexa is going off, so we'll just ignore her, of course. If you drop into it advising at any time during this year, you can get any of the 5 of us. We're all well versed and able to advise on any of the types of engineering. And then once you come with us in this fall, you'll get assigned to one of us to advise you per academic major. So here's our plan for tonight. We're in the introduction right now. We'll talk about a lot of resources. We are very big on resources because we want to help you guys be successful and be in charge of your own learning. So we'll give you some resources. We'll talk extensively about how to register for your classes. We have done a webinar already on transfer credit, but we'll kind of go back to the transfer credit reminder. And we will wrap up with something else that I'm blocking. Important dates. My face is in the way, so I had to move that over. That's kind of where we're headed, folks. So what is the School of Engineering Hub? First of all, you'll see lots of acronyms at RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. This is our School of Engineering, or SOE. We are your hub advisors. We are a first-year academic hub. So we are experienced advisors, and we take care of you guys and make sure we're giving you resources to be successful through the whole first year. It actually goes a little bit beyond the first year because we still have you when we get to this time next year before we release you to your faculty advisors. So after the first 2 semesters, we let you go. You'll have faculty advisors. The big difference really is we are here to support you with registration, your resources. Sometimes if you're running into academic trouble, we will tell you what supports you can go to across campus. Faculty advisors are going to be more on the academic side. They know what kind of research to do in aerospace engineering, or they know what types of jobs there are in the field and what types of classes and electives you should be picking to be successful. So that's the main difference there. With our big majors, main is mechanical, aeronautical and aerospace, and nuclear engineering, and also ECSE, which is electrical and computer and systems engineering. Those are such big majors that you will also have a faculty advisor and somebody to support you second year through graduation. So that's one of the differences between the smaller types of engineering. Here's where we are, and there's our big window. We are inside the Ansel Lounge, which is on the 3rd floor of the Johnson Engineering Center, or the JEC. We're really smack in the middle of campus. So if you come in our main doors, you will pass the dean's office. You'll see the Ansel Lounge, and we're inside the Ansel Lounge. Sometimes people get confused and they're like, wait, this is a lounge, where's the hub? You got to keep walking right through. The lounge itself is a really nice resource for you guys. Lots of students come to study. Sometimes they'll do group meetings in there. So that's support for engineers of all levels. So freshmen can come in there, seniors can come in there. It's a really nice space, especially if you want to network a little bit. Here's all the different types of engineering that we offer at RPI. You'll see at the bottom, we have undeclared engineers too, and we'll talk a little about that as a major, but we have a lot of students that come in not knowing what type of engineering they want to pursue. So this first year in the School of Engineering is a great time for you to make that decision, and we offer some great resources to support you doing that. Just sometimes people don't even come in undeclared. Sometimes they completely change their major. So that's totally fine to do all the way through your first year, sometimes even into your second year, because there's lots of commonalities between the different types of engineering. Karen, I'm going to slow down for 1 second and say, I'm like spinning through this. If you're like, she forgot a major thing, feel free, interrupt at any time. I'm cool with it.
Actually, the only thing I wanted to say out loud, I just put
Yes,
it in the chat, but any questions, type them in the chat and Jen and I will address them at the end of the presentation.
good
So,
point. Okay,
but thank
thanks.
you. You're all good.
Okay, thanks. So just like I was referring to, changing your major is something you can do. We have students that change type of engineering majors. We have students that go to different majors across different schools at RPI. We have students that come to us from different majors across RPI into engineering. This is important to talk about because you can make these changes right now without even coming into the hub. You don't have to wait for this fall. We're happy to have you, but you can do this all on your own through your admissions portal. So this is a screenshot of the portal and additional resources there. There's a change of major form that's embedded within your admissions portal, and you can see it underlined with the blue line there. So if you have any questions about that, you can just reach out to admissions. It takes a couple days for this to process through, so don't get too antsy if you're like, oh my gosh, I changed to mechanical engineering and it's been 3 days and it hasn't updated yet. We're kind of like fully in this process, and I think it takes time for all the hands to get in there and make those changes. So don't get too upset or worried about that. And if you need support, you can reach out to us and we can see what's going on. More resources. We will talk about our resources a lot because, again, that's the way that we help you help yourselves as you go through your freshman year. Our website, we reference it all the time. I refer people to our website. Probably today alone, I said our website about 50 times talking to students. So it's a good thing. We work really hard. Kelly, who's in our office, works really hard at updating the website. So it's really always up to date and current. Drop-in advising began on June 26th. We were hard at work doing that today. Feel free to keep dropping in and asking those questions. When it comes to drop-in advising, it can be a 10-minute meeting, or you might just have a quick question that you put in our class of 2029 WebEx chat that we have with y'all. So that's another option for you. We have some great course registration checklists and Excel templates. They will be used for different things. We're leaning heavily on course registration checklists for your first semester at RPI. We were just talking in the office today about the fact that we want you guys to be aware. It's so different from registering for classes in high school and making your schedule. You're making it for like a full academic year. Not here. You're just focusing on semester by semester. However, we will in the future talk about your 4-year plan at RPI. But right now, this summer, you're focused on your very first semester at RPI, and then we'll get all the other boxes checked for you. Transfer credit policies, we are going to talk about this extensively. This is going to be something that we're going to keep referring to. And we have a separate video all about transfer credit. We have FAQs, which are very helpful. Honestly, if I were a freshman and I was on our website, I would probably be able to register all by myself. We're not saying you have to, but that's how many resources we have under the FAQs for you. And we have a communication archive, so you'll always go back and be able to see old emails that we have sent you. We started sending emails in June, and this is a really good time for me to mention your #1 resource, even ahead of our hub website, is using your RPI email. As of now, the language you speak is RPI email. You don't check your personal email for RPI stuff anymore. And I can say that not only for your hub advisors, but anything from financial aid announcements. Well, they're probably a bad example. Maybe I should not say financial aid, but housing, first year experience office, they're all going to email in your RPI email. So just be aware of that. Here are the registration checklists and Excel templates. Really quick, because I don't want to focus too much on the Excel template, that's on the right-hand side. That's what we're going to be using to make your 4-year plan at RPI. That's kind of like a later thing. Right now, we're kind of living on the left-hand side, and the mechanical engineering is the sample that we brought up because we have a lot of mechanical engineers. What this is going to do is tell you all your options for classes that you can register for the fall 2025 semester. Common question we'd be getting is, there are tons of classes here. How am I going to fit these into one semester? You're not. We just troubleshoot. We looked ahead. We planned ahead and we said, what if this student already brought in Calc 1? What do they register for then? So it's almost like an if-then situation. And you'll see more about what we're talking about here because I'll show you one of these at the end before we go to the questions and answers for you that you might have. And then this is how to register for classes. This has been talked about a little bit. It's all on our website. This is QUACS, which is really great. It's not RPI sanctioned, but it is something that was created by our computer science students. So we use it. That's how good of a resource QUACS is. How do I get to QUACS? I won't say this often, but you can do a Google search and you could say RPI QUACS and it'll come up for you. QUACS is basically building your schedule. Disclaimer, this is not how you register for classes. Everything that you do for registration happens in SIS, where you have to authenticate and you log in and it's your SIS. This is you building your schedule and finding out if there's course conflicts or if you have a schedule that'll work for you, or if all your classes are happening on Mondays and Thursdays and you don't have a balanced schedule. So we'll work within QUACS later as well. How to register for classes continued. Step 2, you're logging into SIS that I just referenced, and you have to go to student menu. There's a couple different things here. Before you can even register your classes, you have to check your registration status, which is where you will get your time ticket. If you have not done this yet, you want to do this soon. Most students are going to be registering starting on July the 14th. But you want to know what time your time ticket is. Some people are registering at 9 a.m., some are registering at 1 p.m. That's the point at which you're first able to register. If you possibly can, I would register right when your time ticket opens so you have the best access possible to your classes. You also need to view any holds that you may have. How can you have holds already? You're not even here yet. One hold that you will definitely have. And, oh, hi, we are getting some messages. Awesome. Keep the questions coming, guys. We'll get back to those for you. A hold that you have is your financial responsibility agreement. You're going to have this every single semester that you register here at RPI, and you won't be able to register until you clear that. So that is something that you can take care of today after you can actually take care of it right now while I'm talking if you want. But you're going to want to get in the habit of doing that financial responsibility agreement, which basically says, I'm going to pay my bills while I'm at RPI. Here is something else that we need to look at. This is taking a deeper look into SIS and the information that you're going to be looking at to help you make informed decisions. So you have to select the term. We're registering for fall 2025 in the dropdown. That's the easiest part. And you can search your courses by subject. You can see in the subject box over to the immediate left-hand side. One of the big things we have pulled up here, your Haas inquiry class, and that's a screenshot of a Haas inquiry menu. You get to choose your Haas inquiry class. You can't transfer in Haas inquiry classes. They have to be taken at RPI. So you have a full semester or a full year to take a Haas inquiry. Freshmen are the only students that are able to take the inquiry classes. With that being said, if you are able to, taking a Haas inquiry is a nice way to balance out your super technical schedule for fall. You have Calc 1, and maybe you have a CAD class, and you have chemistry. That's a lot. Lots of science, lots of STEM. So Haas is a good way to balance that out and take science, tech, and society, or behind the TV screen. A couple things I should be looking at here is little abbreviations that we have. So if you look, I'm actually going to fast forward and come back to the screen. Oops, fast forwarded too much. Right here where the number 9 is something that we call the CRN, or the course registration number. That's going to be important because as you're going through your SIS menu, you can click the hyperlink that is your CRN number. When you click a hyperlink, it's going to give you more information about that class. Let me back up back to here. So you can see the CRN numbers that are right here. These are what you're going to use to register for your RPI classes. It's always going to be a 5-digit code. And we'll get back to that a little bit later. As we read our way across, you can see these are Haas inquiry classes, INQR, and then the course number, the section number, how many credits, the title, and then the days it's offered. The really big thing is right in here. This is going to tell you how many seats are left and is there room for you to join a class. So here's the cap. This behind the TV screen class has 16 total seats. Actual seats that are taken is only 1, which means there are 15 seats remaining. The other thing that you want to do, I got to move this over, is if you go to the far right attributes, this becomes important really mostly for your Haas inquiry classes. We'll talk about this a little bit more, but Haas inquiry classes can be communication intensive as well as being a Haas inquiry. These are little boxes that you have to check off when you're doing your 5 Haas classes here at RPI, but this is something that you can use to decide what kind of classes that you'll be registering for. I know it's a lot of information. We'll get you there. There's lots of little things to consider. Okay, here we are. So continuing, this is your CRN number. And I mentioned that you can click into hyperlinks to get more information about a class. This becomes especially important when you're looking to see if a class is major restricted. Otherwise, it's restricted by major. Some Haas classes are restricted by major because they're only for certain Haas majors. Some classes are restricted by class year. So I mentioned that your Haas inquiry class is going to be restricted to freshmen only. You can see this right down here in this yellow circle. Restrictions: must be enrolled as a freshman. That's you. So we reserve those classes for freshmen because that's the only time you can take those classes. Anything else on this screen, Karen? I think I covered it all in one way, shape, or another.
You did it really well.
Oh,
it's a lot
good.
of information.
It's a lot. I'm just like bouncing all over the place, but you can always WebEx us and we'll help walk you through. Okay, more. We're not done registering yet. We didn't even do the registration. So adding those CRNs, those 5-digit numbers to the add drop page. So on your student menu, you'll see register, add, or drop. That's how you're going to register for your classes. You'll see these little boxes pop up. We have like a mini version right here to show you what it is that you're looking for with the boxes. There'll actually be 5, I believe, going across your screen. So you can register for 5 classes at a time. That's where you're going to submit your changes. So you are basically going to go to Quacks, like I referenced before. You'll be able to cut and paste a CRN number, plop it in this box, go to your next course, cut and paste, next box, cut and paste. So when all is said and done, you'll have 5 or 6 CRN numbers, and then you'll hit submit changes. Very important that you hit submit changes, because sometimes we have students get out before they hit that button and then they haven't registered for anything. So one step at a time. Error messages will come up from time to time, and usually that's something with you might be missing a prerequisite for a class. Maybe you are registering for a differential equations class and the prerequisite is calculus 2, but you haven't taken it yet. So they're like, no, 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 you can't do that. You have to take Calc 2. So they won't let you register for that first class. Something else that happens is the time conflict. When you're using Quacks, a lot of that can be rectified by building schedules in Quacks because it won't let you register 2 classes at the same time. It's impossible. So if that happens and you try to register those 2 CRN numbers that have a conflict, that message will come up, and you can work with your academic advisor to help you with that. Lucky 13 says, review your courses by selecting the view weekly schedule daytime grid, which is important because that's how you're going to check your work. If you went to review your classes and there wasn't a schedule there, that might tell you that you probably didn't hit the submit button or something similar. I just keep moving my screen around so I can see. There we go. Unsure on your major. I talked about this a little bit before. So this is for 2 groups of students. This is either for students who are coming in as undeclared engineers, because those students are going to register for what we call Engineering 1700, Introduction to a Better World Engineering. As an undeclared engineer, this is going to give you some extra information to make a decision on whether you want to be a mechanical engineer, do you want to be an electrical engineer, civil. The way we're able to do this, and we actually get to participate in these classes this year as the School of Engineering Advising Hub. So we'll see you from time to time. This is a 1 credit class. Very low stress. You just go, you get to take all the information in. There's not assignments to do. And this is basically where you are able to learn about the different types of engineering we offer at RPI. So you go once a week for an hour, no big deal there. And the really cool thing is Professor Kurt Anderson is in charge of the class as the professor, and he brings people from industry in to talk about, this is what a civil engineer will do on the day-to-day, or these are the different disciplines within civil engineering. So you really get a deep look at what it looks like in that field. Oh, this other part I meant to mention, this is not closed for only students who are undeclared engineers. I could be a computer and systems engineering major, kind of thinking about, I don't know, maybe I should do mechanical instead. So maybe I'll register for this class so I can get the impact of being able to attend and learn about all the different fields. Because let's face it, we have the big engineering majors, but we also have smaller ones like industrial and management engineering that a lot of students don't even know about. So this class is a good way to kind of like tap into that. Did I like go forward a lot, Karen? Nope, that's it. Okay. First year students, understanding your transfer credit. We have a recording that Kim, one of our advisors, had recorded earlier on. It is, of course, as you guessed, on our website. So you can watch that recording because it kind of breaks down what you need to do for AP credit. The answer is you should have submitted your scores via the boards a while ago, but do it if you have not already. If you have dual enrollment credit, there's a form that we can hook you up with. It's on our website, because that form needs to go to your guidance counselor to get signed off on. So there's an extra step with that dual enrollment credit, but you can watch all the slides, see all the info about transferring credit in. Here are important dates that we are working with. So you guys got your time tickets, you've checked them in SIS, you set alarms for when your registration window opens. We are in advising consultation right now. We do that via WebEx. So that's what those drop-in appointments are for. I shouldn't really call them appointments. You sign up, you drop in, you talk to one of the 5 of us, and then you go on your merry way. Freshman registration is taking place over the course of just about a week. Most students are going to register starting on the 14th, but there's also registration timelines anywhere from the 10th to the 16th. Like I said before, once you have your time ticket, try to register right then, if at all possible. First day of class is a Thursday, which is August the 28th. We have an ad drop deadline that after you get here to RPI, this will be a main conversation we'll be having. even right now during the summer, we talk about the fact that maybe you want to register for Calc 2, or maybe you want to, even though you brought credit in for Calc 1, take Calc 1 again. It's all about your experience with calculus. But at the end of the day, you have about 2 weeks for the drop deadline to be able to drop a class and add a class, and still be in good shape to move forward for the semester. So we always try to remind you many times about that add drop deadline. Nothing that you do in your schedule is set in stone up until that point, and maybe not even then. There's some other dates we have for you as well, but I won't confuse things. Welcome class of 29, that's you guys. Here's our famous website. We can't shout it out enough that it's very useful. Really, anything that we talk about, you can find on this website. Very comprehensive. Some things that you'll find here, we have all of the information that you guys will need for registration. We have some Q&A, not Q&A, FAQs, wrong abbreviation. So very common questions that we get, we'll have listed there. We also have a YouTube channel. This video is going to be on there, as is the transfer credit video. So you can find anything on our YouTube page, which again, oh, what did I do? Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, I must have hit something.
You brought us to the YouTube page, so.
Surprise, here it is. Here's all
Yep.
our YouTube videos. Did not mean to do that, and I didn't even think I touched anything. Eek. Let's see. Oh
Go
my
back to the
goodness.
blue tab at the top. I think that'll bring you back to your presentation.
Okay. Sorry, everybody hit the pause button for a second. Here we are. Woof. That was scary. All right. And we also have our, see, it's me moving things around all over the place. It's our Instagram page as well. That's really fun, but we also put important timelines on there for you. I just talked about add drop deadlines. So you'll see fun things that come across our Instagram if you subscribe to that, telling you watch out because September 13th is your add drop deadline. And there's also fun stuff too. Oh, this might be it. Yes, this is our last screen, so I can stop sharing this. And we'll talk a little bit about QUACs and what it looks like to build a schedule. All right, and then we'll get into the questions because I saw a couple of questions pop up. All right, so I'll exit here. Exit full screen. All right, let's talk about QUACs. And let's talk about our registration checklist. So I'll share my screen again. And it's in Chrome. And there it is. Okay. So I have decided to share the computer and systems engineering registration checklist. Some of the other videos talk about different majors, but now it's the turn to talk about some comp sci based majors. So this again is not going to be all the classes you register for your fall semester. This is options. I kind of like to jet down to the bottom and be like, here's what we're really talking about. You're going to have somewhere between 16 to 18 credits. We always like to keep you at that level because that's going to get you to graduate within 4 years. And the other thing is, what if you do drop a class? You find that something isn't fitting into your schedule, you're struggling with a class. Okay, I have to drop down to 12 or 13 credits. If you have that buffer of 16, 18 credits, that allows you to do that. So very impactful, very well thought out. But if I am a computer and systems engineer, I am going to take Comp Sci 1100. Let's pretend I didn't transfer it in. I'm taking Comp Sci 1100 at RPI in the fall. Great. If I did transfer it in, you have other choices, ECSE 2610 or Engineering 2350. So we kind of went above and beyond and we're like, what's the next step if somebody brought in credit? Next, we have intro classes for really all of the engineering majors. If you are electrical or computer systems engineer, you have something called ECSE 1010. So you'll register for that. Most of the students that are in computer and systems engineering will opt to take something called Engineering 1400 or Engineering Communications. This is your CAD class. It depends on your majors. This is not for everyone. Some majors really push and prefer to have Engineering 1200, which is straight up CAD. The difference with the communications is it's a little bit easier of a class for Engineering 1400. It kind of stops the CAD halfway through the semester. And you focus on like Microsoft Suite and things like that. So it's a little bit easier. So let's say you register for Engineering 1400. I need to take Calc 1. So I am definitely going to do that. When it comes to calculus, you'll see in all the templates, Calc 1 must be completed in fall. That doesn't mean if you brought in Calc 1 from an AP exam, you still have to take it. What that's saying to you is, sorry, there are cats all at my table. If you are taking Calc 1, you have to do it in the fall semester because then you need Calc 2 next semester. And then you have to take differential equations. So that's why we need you to complete Calc 1 right away, if at all possible. That's why that's highlighted that way. So what do we do with all this information as you're going through and making your schedule? That's where we come to QUEX. And again, this is something that you could just search up by saying, all right, Google, here we go, RPI QUEX, and it'll come up for you. QUEX is a little quirky. Sometimes you have to definitely make sure you're in the right semester. It's very easy to go ahead and start planning a schedule and then halfway through realize that it populated under spring 25 and none of these classes are right. I have done that. So just a heads up to you guys. The other thing that's kind of funny about QUEX is sometimes you have to refresh. You'll see a little spinning bubble here. And this happens to me just about every time I open QUEX for the day, and then it chills out and it does what it's supposed to do. So if you just refresh, things go back to normal, and that is my IT experience coming your way. I already have one class added in here. I went ahead and put Intro to ECSE, which is your intro class for computer and systems engineers. So I chose that. It has 2 different schedules. You can take that either at 2 p.m. or you could take it at noon, whatever your heart desires. But I want to add more classes here. So here's where we start searching up classes that we need. So what did I say? We are going to look to put, excuse me, window. All right, CompSci 1100. Let's search. CompSci, oops, 1100. I'm hitting enter. Here's computer science. This is, look at all those computer science classes. Amazing. So if you want to toggle all the sections and you want to see what's rocking and rolling with every section of CompSci 1100, you can choose them all by hitting that toggle section. If I don't want to do that and I'm like, this is actually a bad example for this because you'll see the times are very much the same for all the sections of CompSci. But let's say I wanted to focus on these. I'm only going to put these in this time. When I hit the schedule button, oh, look, there's some different options for CompSci. And you'll go through and be like, what looks good? Oh, that's moving around. This is going to be your test block for CompSci. So that's going to be the big difference when your test block is taking place. Let's do one more. I'm not going to bore you forever, but I want to check out a Haas inquiry class because you do have to do a Haas inquiry in your first year at RPI. So the other way, if you don't want to type it in, you can look, and these are broken down by academic school at RPI. And of course, I can't find it because I'm presenting. Oh, it's right here. Haas inquiry. Boom. Here are all the Haas inquiry classes. And this is really nice because you have to take one of these, but this will give you a brief description about what the class is. So let's say I want to take behind the TV screen. We're going to open that. It's a no-brainer because it's one section. Boom. So if I look at my revised schedule, now I have behind the TV screen, some options for CompSci 1, and then my ECSE class. You are going to have between 16 and 18 credits, but this is getting you started on how you're going to toggle in between your SIS and between QUACs and looking at your schedule. Again, I feel like I can't say this enough. This is just building a schedule and seeing in block format how it's going to look. All the registration, like I said, throughout the presentation happens by logging into SIS. So you should be aware of that. I think we are ready for Q&A. I will stop sharing all the
Okay,
screens.
Jen.
Oof.
I'm going to read your questions.
Okay.
So we have a couple in here. One question is, I assume time tickets are in Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. The language at RPI is Eastern Standard Time, really, like moving forward. So that's
So
where
West
we are.
Coast, you're getting up early. Sorry.
We're sorry.
Register and go back to bed.
Kinda. I had someone that dropped in to drop in advising today. They were in California. They're like, see ya. Thanks for the answers. I'm out. It was so early for them. It was like 6 a.m. So
We have another one that says AP credits for courses taken in the 2025 school year won't come out until early July. Will we still be able to send those scores when they come out?
yeah, this happens every year. It's a dicey time because it's like this is the time that AP scores are coming out. If they get delayed even a little bit, registration might open before that happens. So we have a process. So we're going to hope that they come in and get posted to your transcript, and we'll be able to use it to see what you should be taking if you have credit for Comp Sci 1, if you have credit for Calc 1 and Physics 1. But we have a process with the registrar's office if we need to get you into classes before that happens. So just communicate with us and we'll get you where you need to be, is basically the moral of the story. Good question, though.
Okay, I got another one. How do we know which classes are required for our major again?
So I will lean on the registration forms that I had just showed you guys, the registration course checklist, and I can share this again. Share. Again, this is a computer and systems one, but these are your choices. They are broken down by like the core. So these are engineering classes, these are math science classes, these are classes that are specific to computer and systems engineering major, and then the Haas ones are the last category. But this gives you the choices. And if you get confused and you have too many choices, just talk to one of us and we'll set you in the right direction.
And these checklists are on our website, so that's
Yes.
where you're going to want to go. Once you go to our website, you'll see a box that says course registration checklists. Click on it, and then all of the majors are listed, so you can find your major in that category. Okay, now I got another one for you, Jen.
Okay.
I was planning on transferring in a Project Lead the Way course. Is
Yep.
this possible at RPI, and what is the process?
We don't have a separate process for Project Lead the Way, do we? It just comes in as transfer credit.
Actually, it's a dual enrollment credit because a
Okay.
lot of times they happen within the high school curriculum. It's coordinated through the high school with RIT. So yes, it's possible. And what you would need to do is, if Jen, you want to show them on our website where the transfer credit information is.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to go to the class of
Got to
29.
go to 29.
Make sure you click class of 29, not 28. You'll get wrong
Always.
information.
You'll be all confused with wrong templates and everything. All right. So let's see, webinar schedule.
Show where that checklist is too, which is right there.
Yep. So I got the checklist from here, and then transfer credit policy.
Yeah.
We were talking about.
Yes. So if you click on that, you will find where the dual enrollment instructions are for how basically it works. So that's going to be what you would do with the Project Lead the Way courses.
This is, yeah, with the dual enrollment, it requires a signature from high school guidance counselor. So that's part of the process.
So just so you know too, Project Lead the Way courses, there's not a real urgency to transfer them in. There is a deadline that you have to do it before the end of your first year to be able to do it. But don't stress about getting those in immediately because those are going to just apply towards free elective credits rather than actual courses that are going to require prerequisites. So that's something that I just want to emphasize because I know we talk about transfer right away, transfer right away. But if it is a course that's not going to be contingent on you registering for another course, the urgency isn't quite as urgent, if it will. Okay, I got another one
Love
for you,
that.
Jen.
Yeah.
Um, what does HAAS stand for, and what is the purpose of those classes?
So it stands for Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. And it's so you're a well-rounded student. So as an engineer, you're not taking straight up all engineering, math, and science classes. You're also getting some humanities in there. The really cool thing is it's different than if you were going to a liberal arts college because everything has STEM intertwined in it. I showed you guys one of the Haas Inquiry classes is Science, Tech, and Society. And that's basically what you're talking about, the impact of technology on people and vice versa. So it's really nice. It gives you a break from all those like tech heavy classes that you're going to be taking. And as an engineer, I think I mentioned this, you're going to take 5 Haas classes before you graduate from RPI.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then part B to that question, is the drop-in advising required or is it just a tool to help us if needed?
Yep. It is not required. It's recommended. We want to talk to you and meet you, but if you're like, I have this, I'm good to go, then you could use all our resources on our website and do it yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, we're rocking and rolling. Is there a program of studies for first year students? One we can view before the registration window opens.
I mean, that's the checklist. Because
Yeah,
think of it this way, the checklist is your first semester class options. Then after we get you all settled for your first semester, we'll have that larger conversation about what are your 4 years going to look like. So that will come into play as we get closer to spring. But right now, we just want you guys to focus on fall.
right. Um, does Quacks also account for extracurriculars?
No. I mean, we have conversations with athletes who have practices starting at 4 to avoid those time periods as they're working in quacks, but that's not, I know that's not what you're talking about. So it does not, that's where you turn to whatever you use for time management, like your Google Calendar or whatever. And you work off of that. But this is just academics.
And to add to that,
Yeah.
Christian, just so you know, um, you can customize Quacks to take out the courses. Like say you are an athlete and you need to finish at 4, you can unhighlight the courses that maybe are later than 4 o'clock so they won't incorporate into your schedule making. So that is a manual thing that you would do. Play with Quacks. It's actually kind of fun. Jen and I often like just kind of tool around with it, but that is something that you could customize to reflect specific things. Like I hate to say it because it's not reality for first year students, but some students are like, I don't want any 8 a.m.s because I don't wake up at 8 a.m. And they take all the 8 a.m.s out of their schedule, which they end up sometimes putting back in. But you
Yeah.
can customize the preferred times if that's what you're also asking. So that's something worth noting about Quacks.
What do you
Okay.
want more? Do you want this class you're interested in, or do you want no AMs? Because you usually don't get both. So, oh
Right.
well. The other
All
thing
right.
about quacks, before I forget, okay, tell me if I have it backwards. I always get it backwards. If there's a strike through the class, it means there's a conflict with your schedule as it is currently. If it's red, it means that the class is closed.
No, it actually red and strike through. It means a conflict. So they actually
Okay.
happen simultaneously.
I knew I
That's
was going to get it
that's a
wrong.
good point though, Jen, because the other thing about Quacks, as much as it's a great tool, it is delayed. So
Yes.
as much as you look at Quacks to build a schedule, Quacks might tell you that there's 4 seats available, and then you go to register for classes and you find out the section's closed, and you're like, what happened? It said there were 4 seats. Quacks does go on delay. So Jen was going through the SIS screens, and that's where you really want to see the real time for your classes. So that's important to note as well. Don't look at Quacks for seat numbers, look at SIS for seat numbers.
Yeah, when you're in your registration window, that's where you're like looking at CIS because Quacks is going to be out of time for you, at least by a couple minutes. So,
Yeah,
okay.
registration happens pretty quickly. Okay, I got another one here. I
Yeah.
have already transferred in STSO 1000 credit. I don't see this on Quacks. What does this count as? Where can I use this?
1,000 levels will come in and that'll be a free elective. So that's typically where those land. Yeah, I don't think there's any 1,000 level that are a named course, right?
Well, you can use it as one of your 5 Haas classes, but
True.
it won't be part of like, we'll get into Haas as the semester begins. Like we're talking about pathways and a lot of things. Haas is pretty intricate, but a pathway is only 3 courses. And you can use an STSO 1000 as one of your 5 Haas classes, but
Right.
it will be outside of the pathway. So that's kind of a loaded answer, I think, like a little ahead of the game, but I commend you for noting that it wasn't available on Quacks. But either way, it can be used as a free
Right.
elective, which all majors, assuming you're not doing a dual, has. And yeah, we as advisors, Jen will walk you through it, or I can walk, like all of us can kind of piece together what your transfer credits are and how they would play with your curriculum. And that's kind of why we do encourage you to get them in so we can see what the big picture is.
Karen mentioned dual majors. I had like 10 questions today about dual majors. Just put that on the back burner. We won't talk about those like for fall semester. I just wanted to make like a PSA announcement about that. Put it in
Yeah,
your
we
back
don't
pocket.
declare duals until spring, but we talk about them in the fall semester. Just summer, it really isn't relevant. So, okay, here's another one for you. Are classes with the prefix INQR the only classes that fulfill the Haas requirement, or do other classes like arts and GSAS also fulfill the requirements?
It's only those INQR that those are going to be your Haas inquiry classes. So you can't do a psych prefix, like you said, the arts and GSAS. So fun note on GSAS is they're major restricted to the GSAS majors. So sorry.
But in the future, so if you look at your checklist, we have 2 categories. We do need you to do a Haas inquiry in your first semester or your second semester. But say, for example, you don't like any of the Haas inquiries in the fall, you only have to do one Haas inquiry overall. So the other categories that you mentioned, Ryan, are still Haas courses and might play in pathways. So if you're interested in, well, we'll use arts, for example, say you found an art class that you really wanted to get into, and you're like, well, it's offered in fall, you could do that, but then you are committed to taking an inquiry in the spring. So we do have to do 5 Haas. Only one of them are going to be an INQR, unless you choose to do 2 semesters of INQR, which we've had students do too, because they're
True.
kind of fun topics, right?
Yep.
Okay. Got another one here. Can I transfer U Albany credits from science research program? Yeah,
I
I
don't know
don't
how to
know.
answer that one.
That one, you
If
know
it was a
what?
course from SUNY Albany, maybe if
We would
it's
have, yeah, we would have
transferable.
to get that reviewed. So if you can email the SOE hub at rpi.edu email address, or you can message one of us later on, we can look into that for you. I'm not really sure where that lands. That's a question I don't think we've had before. So we'll find out.
Good job.
Yeah.
Make us look it up.
Um, how do we get confirmation that our AP credit was accepted?
We could have a conversation about this because do they get an email from
No,
registrar's office or does
no.
it come via the ticket?
Neither. So
Okay.
what you're going to have to do with AP credit is you're going to have to go into SIS and view your transcript. So what that means is in SIS, where you're going to go register for your classes, if you scroll down in the student menu, there's a bullet that says view unofficial transcript. Choose that. And if you have any credits that are transferred in already, they will show up on that screen. If your name is the only thing that shows up or nothing shows up, that means we don't have anything on file just yet. So that's something that you're going to want to look at. I know that a lot of students who transferred their AP credit from junior year have seen those credits, But
Right.
we also know that the big dump for the class of 2025 or the year of 2025 credits, those are coming. I think we're going to be able to see those July 7th. So you could check if you have junior credit pending, but likely that the senior level courses you took are not hitting yet.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
How do free elective credit courses work? Do you need to take one?
You have to take 12. The engineers take 12 credits of free electives. However, that conversation I had about the dual elective or the dual majors, if you are a dual major, the free electives go away because it gets replaced by those dual credits from the other major. So it's something we'll talk about more. Just kind of have that in the back of your head as you're thinking about dual majors. But yeah,
And free
engineers get 12
electives are your
credits.
choice. Yeah. So if you wanted to take more Haas classes than the allocation, you could do that. You could take, if you're a mechanical engineer and you're like, well, I really wanted to take comp sci, you can, but it would be a free elective because it's not a course required for your major. So that's kind of how the whole thing works.
And it's funny because it's all about what that student is focused on. It's like you could either do a dual major with electrical engineering and computer systems and don't have free electives anymore, or you could just do electrical and then take 4 classes towards management to get a minor. So it's all about what your interest is. It's different for everybody.
Yeah, that's why we really want you to talk to us about what your goals are, because then we can make recommendations about how to proceed to get those without taking extra classes and stuff like that. And then we have one more question here
Yeah,
that I'm seeing so far, but keep them coming because we're here to answer them.
yeah.
Was Intro to Better World Engineering a Haas inquiry?
It is not. So it's not a Haas inquiry. It's just a 1 credit
Free elective,
seminar.
believe it or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It'll
that
go
would be
towards
one of
free
your
electives.
12.
But again, it doesn't have to just be for undeclared engineers. Any of the engineers can take that. Anybody actually, not just an engineer, right?
I think if you're outside of engineering, you might need to request it for
Oh,
an
okay. So you
override,
have access.
but other than that, yes, spread the word because we do want people to be informed and feel good about their decisions here. So that's a big part of it.
Cool.
All right.
Anything
I
else?
think you're caught up on questions now, but
Cool.
I guess we'll hang out and see if anybody's got anything else.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
These are
All
great
right.
questions, by the way.
Very well thought out. Cool. Nobody feel like you can't leave if it's bedtime. You could step
Bedtime for
out.
me.
Oh my gosh. Oof. But yeah, be in touch. And I said to a lot of people that were in drop-ins today that we're hanging around on WebEx for registration days too. So if anybody has any troubleshooting, any sys issues or anything, we're available. So we don't stop advising you when you register. We're there to support you on that day too.
Yeah, we're partying all summer.
Woohoo!
All right.
You're
Everybody's
welcome, my
saying
guys.
thank you. So I think we're caught
We're
up. If
tired.
anybody, yeah, if anybody has any questions and this is over, you're more than welcome to just contact us on WebEx or whatever you need. We're here. And
Shoot
I'm
us an
gonna
email.
stop recording so we
Cool.
have that done too.